Solo art. Alright, welcome to Solo Art Stream. I haven't done one of these in a really long time. Alright. Everything should be good. If the music is too loud or too quiet, or if I'm too loud or too quiet, please let me know. But it will just be a chill stream. It's just me today. Just me. Let me turn up the music for myself, actually. There we go. Alright. This week, I wanted to do some more fun drawing for myself because I think last time was the figure drawing stream. If you missed that, please check out the VOD on YouTube. My username is over there on the bottom left. So yeah, last one was the figure drawing stream, which I did with Sun to help with commentary. And that was really fun, but it was very fast paced, and I wasn't able to draw in my own style. So I wanted to do that again. I hope you guys have fun watching. I don't know if this will take all stream or if this will take too long or what, because I have never done this before. But today I'm gonna do the OC art challenge called Shirt Cut Meme by, I guess, Juicy? I don't know how to pronounce that. But you may have seen it. You have probably seen it. And I can't wait to draw my OC using it. But first, I have to pick an OC. So I've posted this on a few places now, but this is an OC size chart that I made of most of my OCs. This guy is one of my oldest. His name is Edgar Milo. Let me just zoom in a little bit. His name is Edgar Milo. He's a merman. He was made in a lab along with his sister, who as of right now does not have a name, but she's about a foot taller, I guess. They were both created in a lab and escaped. There's more to their story, and I talk more about it in one of my past streams where I think I just drew some of my OCs. So if you want to hear more about the story, go find that, also on YouTube, over there on the bottom left. I also drew this guy on that same stream. His name is Euphoria, and he was created to be a Dungeons & Dragons character, so he has a lot of stats and a lot of backstory, and he is a tiefling warlock. And so as a tiefling, he's got this beautiful purple skin, golden hair, kind of looks like a satyr, and he got moose antlers. I love him very much. He's one of my favorite OCs. And as a warlock, his patron is Azazel, I don't remember what they're called in Dungeons & Dragons, but a heavenly being. I think celestial is what they're called. Next to him, down here, is Nil, a robot OC that I created. I probably will not be using him for this specific challenge. We've also got Button, who is a friend of Edgar's, was also created in the lab. And then we've got these two who are in a completely different universe. Euphoria and Azazel are in their own universe, and then Nil and Button and Edgar and his sister are in their own universe. These two, I don't know a lot about their story, but hopefully I'll draw them some more and plan it out some more and tell you guys about it. And then this guy, his name is Samael, and I created him with a friend. We both made matching OCs, and this is the one that I created. He's a demon of some kind. I don't have a lot of backstory on him, mostly just personality, but I really like the face that I created for him. And if you give me just a second, I do have some full body drawings of him, because I think this is the OC that I will be drawing for this challenge. This one's alright. So here's some full body drawings of him. The whole prosthetic thing, I'm not sure if I ever continued with that. I haven't drawn a full body drawing of him in a while, but I may change the design of his prosthetic. I do like the idea of it, so we'll see where that goes. But my favorite parts of his design are the gradients on his arms and his really wispy tail. And he's got kind of like orcish teeth, ogre. They're constantly sticking out, as you can see here. This drawing is newer than these, and his horns are a little bit different than how I drew them here. They're more shaped like if this is from the side, they're shaped like this. They kind of curve over the back of his head. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna go with Samael. Alright, now the challenge. This is the shirt cut challenge created by Druzzy, I think, down here at the bottom. And it says, aka your favorite character. I did not read that right. AKA your character in different cleavage flavors. So, this stream is safe for TOS. It will not violate TOS. I promise. But I'm very excited to get started. So, for the first three, let's see, I may want to have these pulled up as references. Alright, and then duplicate that. Actually, I don't need that duplicated. Copy, paste as reference. Deselect. Alright. Now, I can just have those off to the side, and I can start drawing. I am very nervous to do a solo stream because it's the first time in a while, but I love drawing for you guys, and I love drawing my OCs, and I love fun challenges like this, so I hope that it goes well. And like I said at the beginning, if the audio is off, like the music is too loud, or I'm too loud, or too quiet, or anything, please let me know in the chat, and I'll do my best to fix it. The sooner you let me know, the better. That way you guys don't have to suffer this whole time, and it'll be easier for me to edit the VOD. So, let's get started. I'm gonna make this a little bit transparent so it's not blinding white. Okay. So, Samael wears a pretty skin-tight sleeveless tank top. So I think that can work well in our favor. Like this drawing that I have at the top right with him lifting up his arm, I think that is a pretty good base for this drawing. I have my refreshments. Okay, now we can get started. I am determined to not spill this water. I promise I will not spill this water. I will probably spill this water. Okay. Okay. I'm so excited for these drawings. For no reason in particular, obviously. Okay, so as I was saying, the top right reference image, which I am immediately gonna cover up, is probably our best pose for this. Let's see. Good enough. So, when I draw it, I like to find the line of action first. This line right here in the middle. And it kind of just shows vaguely where the spine is gonna go. I'm probably gonna end up doing an up angle here. And then after I get the line of action, I'll roughly position the head, which may change over time depending on where I want him to be facing. And then I'll block in the chest area and then the shoulders. And, just try to get the rough pose down as quickly as possible so it feels like fluid and dynamic and that sort of thing. Alright, that seems okay. Let's have him lifting up his arm again. I do a lot of reference drawing based on images that I find on Pinterest, which is actually where I found this challenge, on Pinterest. I highly recommend it as a tool for experienced and new artists. It's a super great resource for references and tutorials and finished artworks that people have made. And I think it's a really great place to get started. And I kind of just scroll through and just absorb some of the information on there to build my mental library. And that helps me be able to draw poses and anatomy without reference every single time. But this guy's arm, as buff as he is probably a little bit too big. It's very useful to be able to see my screen from different angles. It helps me. It's like when you flip the canvas to see better if your anatomy is off or if something is just not quite right. It's like that, but I try not to flip my canvas too much, especially when I'm streaming, so I don't make you guys sick. That's probably better. And his hand would be back here. Which arm is that? I feel like this would be down farther. And then this angle can be a little bit sharper. Yeah, that looks better. I won't be spending too long on these pieces. I do want to actually like fully flesh them out, but I want to have time to hopefully get all of them done. He has 4 horns. 2 of them are bigger and they kind of curve around his head. Then as he grows older, they're gonna kind of spiral. And then the other 2 are just these little guys out front that stay pretty little. But his hair hides a lot of his horns. And he's got a nose ring. 4 little fangs. I think his head needs to be bigger. But I also need to draw his jaw. This kind of downward angle is one of the hardest, because you don't really know where. Oopsies. It's hard to figure out the position of the chin. I think the head just needs to be bigger. Maybe down a little bit more. How did I draw it over here? And this one is fully facing forward, but this one's a more side angle. But maybe I'll just tilt it down a little bit and it'll be easier to connect. There we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna do all the sketches first, and then I'll go back through and do line art and then color and shading if I have time. Just because I want to get all of these done as much as possible before the stream's over. Okay. Inner. Now wait a second. I didn't even draw the edge of his shirt. There we go. Now this one. I may have to give him slightly different clothes. I know what to do. So for this one, he's gonna be like a little farther away. This arm up here. Be a little bit more facing forward. Pelvis there. I don't usually draw this quickly. I don't take forever to draw, but I do like to take my time on things, especially when it comes to anatomy, because I'm very, I'm a little bit picky when it comes to how my drawings look, because I feel like everything has to be exactly right, which makes it difficult to do fun angles like I was trying to do over here, or dramatic facial expressions. Everything that I do, I don't think it looks stiff, I just think it looks very neutral. Which is why I really admire some of my friends' art, because it's like, it's more cartoony and less focused on realistic anatomy, but because of that, they're able to get some really expressive emotions through their art, and I think that's really cool, and I really hope I can try to implement that into my own art more often. But as for this guy, maybe something like a button up that's maybe a little bit ruffled and messed up and untucked. That way it kind of exposes this part. The main thing that I draw is muscular guys, just because I find the anatomy so easy to memorize. And I'm not as good with softer shapes. But I hope that's another thing that I can implement into my art more often, just softer shapes and more diverse body types. Yeah, that looks okay. Now you don't really see that arm very much. That hand will kind of disappear. And this side will be more tucked in. Legs will be kind of going this way. That's tail. There we go. Like I said, I don't really have a lot of backstory for Samael. I created him with a friend of mine who's matching OC. Let's just say they're roommates. Yeah. Hi Charlie. Do you want me to talk a little bit about the OCs that we made? I haven't told them much because we haven't come up with a backstory for them. Roommate, yes. Yes, absolutely roommates. Um, Nothing else, for sure. Okay. I don't I don't have much to say because I don't know their backstories. Just make stuff up. Okay, let's see. They work in an office together. They have an office job, 9 to 5. And their story is a rom-com, a romantic comedy. Um and they are yes, for sure. They're living together because they don't make enough money, and everyone else who works at the office just is a normal human, and so they're disguising themselves to. Do you want me to show your OC that you made? If I have any, if I have safe pictures of him. Can can I save? Listen, there's some things that I can't that I can't show. I'll find some of the safer drawings if I have them saved. I can. Okay, thank you. Um, what do I even have of them? Well, there's this one that I drew, which is a very quick doodle of both of our OCs. Um, there's this one, which you drew of both of our OCs and their heights. They're perfectly normal heights. But I really like yours. I like his colors and his shapes. Okay, I'll put this away. Anyway, we created those matching OCs together and I really like them. But I haven't drawn enough of my boy. So I'm taking the chance to do that now. I keep drawing his head very small. I forgot he was too. I forgot that they weren't like genuinely normal height and that we decided to make him just ginormous. So on the height scale, hold on. On the height scale, if he was, what did it say, like 7'2" or something like that, he would be, oopsies, he would be like right here. Yes, comically large. For example, compared to one of my shortest human OC, Azrael, he's a full 2 feet taller than him. Just absolutely huge. And a full foot taller than a 6'3" man. God. Okay, back to the task at hand. Third sketch. Charlie, do you have any ideas for this one? for what I should draw for this prompt. I've done these for these two, but I don't know what kind of clothes I should give him for this third one, for the window. I'll have him facing forward, just staring into your soul. No clothes. Hey. But I still have, what other prompts are there? These are the other two that I'm gonna get to. And I might do that for this last one, for the free space. The Hannibal pose. Which Hannibal pose? Which Hannibal pose? I forgot that I have a 10-second delay on this. I may shorten that again for the next stream. I am no longer mentally ill. What? Okay, I have to look that up because I don't remember what that is. Hold on. Oh. Is it? No, it couldn't open it. Hold on. I can do this. Is it this one? Is this the pose that you're talking about? Yes, okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do this pose. I'll draw him in this pose with the... Okay. This is good. I think this is a good pose. Whoopsies. Wait. He's slanted. This is perfect. This is good. I'll draw him just like this. Oh gosh. Is this good? Is this a good pose for him? This angle and everything. Slant. Okay. Wait, I'll put him back so that I can make it slanted once I'm done with it. As the finishing, as the final touch. You know. I think that's a good idea. Okay. He's he's like a ghost. Just in the background. It's perfect. Okay. Looking perfectly at the camera. Staring into your soul. I think this is good. I still don't know what clothes to give him. He's haunting us. Yes. Why is he standing like this? Was this ever in the show? I don't remember. Okay. Now, what clothes should I give him? Well, if it's a window, it could either be purposely placed or like a tear. Let's see. How do I draw his nose? This pose is awful. A dress? Oh. You know, I might do that. It's like a dead expression. Blank face, perfectly blank face, no expression. Okay. A dress. Okay. I don't know how to draw dresses. The nice convenient, maybe like a heart shape. There we go. I don't need that anymore. And then like a V-neck. I don't know how dresses work. What kind of dress would he even wear? Maybe with a slit on the side, you know? I don't know how dress sleeves work. Giorno's outfit. I don't know what his outfit looks like. Wait, I do. Is that the one that I drew? No, I did not draw him, but actually I do like the collar idea. Okay, so instead of a V-neck. No, okay. Not the one that I drew. I don't remember who I drew. It was the one with the big shapes on the sides of his like collar or shoulder or something. And I never finished the drawing. I should. I still don't know how dresses work. Actually, this doesn't look too bad. Josuke. Yeah. Yeah. My avatar is not moving its mouth very much. That's okay. What kind of sleeves? No sleeves? Long sleeves? Should I make it like... Wait, this is good. Like it goes behind the neck. You know? And then it secures in the front at the top of the heart. I think that works. And his arms. Okay, this one is just gonna have to be done. I might make his arms a little bit smaller though. Yeah, that looks okay. And then slightly bigger head. Again. Alright. Now, these 3 sketches are done. I like all of them, and I like the poses. Now, for the sketches, these 2. Beautiful, thank you. Now for this one, I do have an idea. Which is basically just his normal outfit, except cropped. I think that would be a good look for him. So for that, we need another up angle, but this time kind of straightforward. And he's like looking down. So his ears will be back here. I don't know how to draw this kind of angle. That doesn't seem too bad. I mean, his head will go in a little bit more. And then his hair can cover a lot of what looks weird. And then you'll see more of the bottom. Not much of his horns. And you'll see it right up his nose. Mm. He looks like he looks so doofy. eye needs to be closer. Alright, that's not too bad. And you'll see more of his tusks. Yeah, that looks okay. Right? Yeah. Except I think his ears will be higher. Okay, that doesn't look bad. Besides, the focus is not on his face at all. And his shirt is like cropped. It looks so weird. Does this look okay? This looks so weird. Oh. Does that look right? It's such a weird angle. Maybe if I like... He looks amazing. Thank you. I don't know how to feel about it, but it's okay. We'll move on. Free space. Do you want me to draw what you said earlier for the free space? Hey. It's only gonna be the torso. Unless you have another idea. What does that mean? What does okay mean? Yes. Okay. Good. I'm assuming that means yes to your earlier idea. Um. Hmm. Anyway, I haven't talked about my actual drawing process in a little bit. So I do a lot of very loose sketching when I do a digital drawing because I tend to change up my ideas a lot, and because it's really hard for me to picture my art before I draw it. As in, like, I usually go into a drawing with no plan at all, and it's hard for me to plan something in my head beforehand. So I kind of use the actual canvas as like my mental planning process, and I use it to brainstorm instead of thinking about it beforehand. I draw out the ideas as I think about them to because otherwise I can't really visualize them, which I feel like makes it a little bit tricky as an artist. But it also means that I don't struggle with a lot of things that people struggle with, which is like the memes where you're like, I think of a masterpiece in my head and then I try to draw it and it comes out goofy or weird looking and it's not what I imagined, or I just can't draw what I have in my head, or like I wish I could just like laser eye the image in my head onto the canvas. Like I don't really have those issues because I don't I don't imagine these like masterpieces before I start drawing. I don't really have a plan, which makes me feel a little bit like I am not as creative as I was when I was younger. Like little kids, you know, they're like they can think of anything. They're not limited by anything. But I feel like I've lost that a little bit as I've gotten older. I've gotten better at drawing, obviously. Just not as good as coming up with all these stories and designs and characters. But that's okay. I like the stuff that I draw, obviously. um, okay, so the neck will come out like here. Head will be right here. Maybe I should make this like a profile. Like he's looking away a little bit. Yeah, that looks alright. again though. His head should be a little bit bigger. And you can see a nice view of the way that his horns curve. And like wrap around the back of his head. His hair. There we go. And then we can just have his tail kind of loop around. And then end right there. Okay, I think all the sketches are done. This one is definitely my favorite. Okay, which means it is line art time. Okay, well, let's go back to the first three. Well, just the first one for now. And then we'll make that lighter. New layer. And new brush. I like this brush, by the way, to do a lot of my drawing with. It's called Fill Block. And I'm pretty sure that it's just a default brush for Krita. I may have adjusted the end of it a little bit to not taper so much. Or maybe I changed the angle or something like that, but I'm pretty sure that it's just one of the default brushes. And I think it's very cool. You can get a good range of thicknesses, and that kind of thing. So for the liner, I try to keep it really really fluid and natural, but the line art part takes me the longest because it's what I try to get the most perfect. So I end up redrawing the same thing about 100 times. But oh well. I try out new things with my liner all the time. I think it's the thing that I change the most often. I don't really change the way that I color or sketch or shade all that much. But the line art, especially when I find a new brush that I want to play around with, I change how I approach it. With this brush, I try to emphasize line weight variation and making big long lines have a nice like chunky bit in the middle, and then shorter lines are pretty thin. It helps to show depth in your art, as well as movement and angle and perspective. So like for back here, I'm trying to keep the lines pretty thin, and then as you get closer to the camera, I try to make them thicker and chunkier and to draw your eye more. And then obviously the details will have smaller lines. And then I also add some like thin hatching lines often for implying blush and adding some more texture to my line art. And I do it the most when drawing faces, so I can kind of show it in a minute once I get to the face back here. I'll just let that arm kind of cut off back there. Yeah, I add these blush lines to the Adam's apple and around the nose and the cheeks and that kind of thing, which I'll do here in a second. I also tend to zoom in a lot more when I'm doing the line art, but I'm trying to avoid doing that too, so I don't mess with the canvas too much for you guys. Like, this angle is looking really good. By the way, I didn't use reference for any of these drawings except for the Hannibal Lecter one, obviously. So I'm very proud of how these have come out. Can't forget his nose ring. And then I'm trying to figure out the angle on this eye. I feel like I did it pretty well the first time in this sketch. If I can figure out how I did it. Yeah, that's not too bad. And we'll have him looking like sheepishly off to the side over here. There we go. I'll show the eyelid just a little bit. Eye bag. bag and the crease and the eyelashes. Brows. Samael is a very nervous person. Even though he's supposed to be like this big tough guy, he's actually an anxious mess and pretty much a complete opposite to, oh god, what was his name? Was it Malik? Hold on. I got this. I can do this. Malik, I did it! I'm the coolest ever. Okay, yeah, he's pretty much the complete opposite to Malik, who is a comparatively shorter guy and is seen as, and he's an angel, so he's seen as like goody two shoes, very sweet, but he is the feistier one and a lot more energetic. And I think that it's very cute how they both like are opposites of what is expected of them. These characters that we made were pretty much just a combination of like all of our favorite tropes and character design elements, and we just put them all together into these super cool designs, and I'm really proud of them, and I think that we should flesh out their stories and designs a lot more. Those ears. There we go. So yeah, the blush contour lines. It's harder to do from this angle, but I kind of draw them like that. Sometimes I do them on the chin. This time I'm not going to. There. That didn't come out as bad as I thought it would. That came out pretty nice. I think I will draw in this arm in the background actually. Probably just to there. There we go. That looks alright. Okay, now the second one. Which was this one. Lower the opacity. This one I'm not as sure about. I don't know what it is. What kind of pose did I do over here? Maybe something a little bit more dynamic like that. Let's see what I can do. I can take all of this. pull it this way. And then we'll take just this upper part. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I think that looks better. A little bit more dynamic. Now, line art. Let's start with this line. I wonder what our OC's stories should be. Like, they're an angel and a demon. Does that mean there's like a heaven and a hell kind of situation, or just like a mythical being situation, or are they just their own thing? I don't know. If it's a heaven and hell situation, I feel like that would end up being a lot like Good Omens, which isn't a bad thing. Good Omens is a really good show and book. Like I said, line art is the thing that takes me the longest to draw. But it's also the part that I have the most fun with and the most frustration. Both of those are true. But line art is where I'm able to like fully express my style and how I like to draw things, what I like to draw, and show off all my, my skills as an artist and my ability to show depth and proportion and anatomy. I think it's the most unique part of most artists' work. The way that they show shape. Because with color and shading, it's like there are unique things you can do with that, but you can only be so unique. And I think it's line art that is the thing that's like, if you see a certain artist's work, the thing that you're gonna recognize first is probably their line art and the certain shorthands and quirks that they have for certain things. Like there's some artist work that I would be able to recognize after years of not seeing it, and it's just because of the very specific way that they draw things. Their style, their line art, the proportions. And so for me, I try my hardest to make that something that's very unique and recognizable for in my own art. And I think I've gotten to a place that I'm happy about with my line art. I always want to improve every aspect of my art and learn and grow and absorb new techniques into the way that I draw things. But my line art specifically is one thing that I'm very content with. It's also the thing that changes the most, though, so. Maybe I just like having a very fluid style. My style also varies depending on the medium that I use. Digital is the one that I feel is the smoothest and the most detailed, just because of how easy it is to fix your mistakes and have lots of tools available to you and for completely free. I also draw traditionally, sometimes just with pencil, sometimes I use pen or markers. I usually use Ohuhu markers to color. I sometimes do watercolor, which I am often very scared of, but I ended up finding a way of using them that didn't scare me quite as much, and now I have a lot of fun. I also paint, and with painting, my art is very loose, usually lineless. I focus more on colors and shading than trying to get accurate 3D forms and depth and that kind of thing, because it's very difficult for me to paint that kind of detail with something like acrylics, which are very difficult to get fine details with. Especially me, because I have shaky hands that are kind of only getting worse. So hopefully they won't get too bad and I can still paint when I'm old. But yeah, I try to go easy on myself when it comes to painting. And just focus more on the actual experience of it rather than trying to do something that's similar to, say, my digital art style. I think the way that I draw with pencil and sometimes ink pen is the traditional way that is the most similar to my digital art, because it's not too hard to get fine details and isn't too hard to erase if you mess up. And it's the most similar to holding a stylus and drawing on a tablet. Someday I'd like to try oil paints because I would like to be able to blend more with my paints. I'm able to do that with acrylics, but they dry very fast, like surprisingly fast, on the canvas. When you're first starting out with painting, like before I painted a whole lot, you kind of think the acrylics dry slowly because it's paint. It doesn't dry almost immediately like pen does as soon as it's on paper. But when you're painting, at least I tend to go a little bit slower, and so comparatively, it does dry very fast. But oil paints can take hours to dry enough to paint over, and days to dry completely enough that you can, you know, put a seal over it to keep it nice and vibrant. So I like to try those sometime and see what those are like. I know it's recommended not to blend right on the canvas, but I'd still like to be able to move the paint around a little bit more once it's actually on. Like I said, Samael is a big softie and very anxious, but he's also very protective of Malik, and he takes advantage of the fact that he's about a foot taller and about 2 feet taller than most humans. And I think he's very... Maybe he's anxious and doesn't want to hurt people, but when it comes to protecting people, like Malik, maybe he doesn't fully know how to control himself all that well. And maybe he accidentally goes, I don't know, a little bit overboard. That's always nice. And I don't know as much about Malik's personality because he is not my character, but I do know that he's more energetic and more touchy, whereas Samael doesn't really touch people as much, but he's secretly touch starved. I think they complement each other. I wonder how they met, especially if they're different species and pretty much complete opposites. I wonder what situation put them together. Like I said, I mainly draw men, obviously. But I also like to draw fantasy things, like, most of my OCs, or at least half of them, are not completely human or are like only humanoid. Um, I like having that kind of fantasy with my characters and having them be very unique. But it also makes it difficult when it comes to knowing other people's OCs because Charlie here in the chat has a lot of OCs, a lot more than me, but they're all human. They're all human, and it's very difficult to make humans look, you know, as different as, say, a satyr and a merman do. You can tell apart a satyr and a merman. It's trickier to tell apart two humans. So, having mostly non-human OCs makes it very difficult to remember other people's OCs who are not, you know, they're all human. But I'm working on that, I promise. I'm trying to get better about remembering everyone's characters because they're people's OCs are all it's like they're all different pieces of the artist, of the creator. They're all pieces of their souls and they all mean something to them. And I like seeing people's OCs from different ages of their lives and different eras because it's like this is a part of who you are at this time, and this is a part of who you are at this time. Like Edgar was probably my first main fleshed out OC that I really thought through, and I've had him for about 7 years now, and his design hasn't changed too much. I've kind of reiterated it over and over and made it better and more unique and more special. And I'm very proud of his design today and how he's turned out. But I also really like the older versions of his design and how he used to look because those were all design choices that I made when I was younger. And it kind of seeing specifically Edgar's progression of style, it's one subject that's pretty consistent, but I'm able to look back at all the different drawings I did of him and clearly see the progress I've made in my art skill and my ability to flesh out a character and put something together that's unique and special and just I have a better grasp on what colors look well together and his backstory, and so how that will reflect in his final design. His upbringing is not normal. He was made in a lab, and so what does that mean? How would that affect his appearance and his personality and the way that he interacts with people and the way that he thinks about himself? And that all is reflected in the way that he looks. And so those are the kinds of things that I can think about more. And I pay more attention to rather than just it's a merman with an egg-shaped head. Now he has more design to him, more life. But seeing the progress that I made to me is more important than the final design and how he ended up looking. And the same goes for everyone's art that I see. I I see so much of someone by seeing their progress as an artist, not just where they are right now, but how they got there and the things that they changed and the things that they kept. And as the artist gets older, they are able to more consciously decide what parts of their art they want to keep and what parts they want to develop. And it becomes a more conscious decision rather than uh, just a result of learning and growing. I don't know. I think a lot about art and artists and what art means. And on a more serious note, that's, I think, the biggest reason why, um, for example, AI art, why I don't, why I don't like it. Why AI art is so problematic and not just, you know, a way for people to, a way for non-artists to experience the art world, because that's not what it is. You can see art and you can enjoy art, but you cannot fully appreciate it unless you can understand the time it took to get there and the time that it took to make even a single piece and the effort that it takes and the conscious choices that you make to add something or remove something or adjust something just this tiny little bit to the side, you know. Those are all the pieces of someone's heart that go into an artwork, and it's not just the final product. It's every choice that that person made to get to the point where they made that piece and the way that they made that piece. And that's something that AI art will never be able to capture, because AI art produces a single finished drawing in a matter of seconds. And it doesn't make any conscious choices on placement. It doesn't make mistakes. And it doesn't make progress. It doesn't have the human life and the steps that people take to get where they are. It doesn't have that. It doesn't have meaning. And the scariest thing, I think, is that a lot of non-artists don't care about that kind of meaning and about why it should be an art and why we should prioritize meaning rather than a final product. Because they themselves are not artists and they don't recognize how important that is. Art is not something that is shown once and never again, and it doesn't mean anything other than it was created. Art is a reflection of society. It's a reflection of people. But ironically, I think it does say something about society right now. The fact that there is so much AI art and how that is increasingly accepted as art. I think that does say something. But what exactly that is, I don't know. And I would much rather sit here and draw my big strong man than I would like to sit and contemplate the meaning of humanity. Anyway, back to a less serious note. This third drawing is almost done. I'm just gonna finish up his face, which won't take long because it's very small. These drawings aren't perfect, but that's okay. I just wanted to have an excuse to draw this guy a little bit more. Just gotta get the eyes. And he's staring right at the camera, just like Dr. Hannibal Lecter. He kinda looks like a spider, the way that his tusks are. And his little horns. Alright. That one was a little bit sloppy. That's okay. Now, the last two. We've got 15 minutes left of stream. I think that's enough time to just do the line art. I don't think that's enough time to shade or color or anything like that, but that's okay. This one I'm gonna line very quickly because I think it's my least favorite. And I want to move on to my favorite one. So we'll just ink this one really quick. These solo streams are always very, you know, calm and slow. But I think that's okay. There's been so much going on lately in the world and in my personal life. I think it's okay to just have a little break every now and then. By the way, I don't want to get political or anything, but there is a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and if there's anything that you can do, you know, anyone who's watching, to just to use your platform like I want to do in a kind of, you know, relaxed way. It's just, you know, spread information about things that are going on in the world, and do what you can to spread awareness and talk to your local lawmakers and other officials, and donate to good charities. There are lots of things you can do to help, even if you can't donate any money to anything. There are still other ways to help, and I encourage all you guys to find those ways to help. Even one little thing could make the biggest difference. And you never know until you try. Anyone out there who's, you know, having a rough time right now or going through something, I hope it gets better soon. And I hope that you're able to heal and that life treats you better. I'm not gonna finish this drawing seriously. I don't have the patience. That's okay. Yeah, this drawing didn't turn out great. I might actually just delete this. I'll keep the sketch, but I'm gonna move on to my favorite sketch. I feel like this pose turned out really well. The torso is a little bit short though. Let me change that real quick before I start inking. It's like, I can tell the belly button is up a little too high. So I'll stretch that out a bit. And that looks better. Alright. Yeah. Okay, I'll lower the opacity and get a new layer. Anyway, this stream turned out a little bit more serious than I thought it would. But that's okay. It's mostly silly, and it's mostly just watching me draw this man. If there's anything you guys want to see me draw in the future, please let me know. I also have a Discord server over there on the bottom left next to my YouTube username, where you can join. Right now, it's mostly just my friends and Sun, my Twitch partner. But there's lots of space in there for a brand new community and just somewhere nice to make new friends and to talk about art and games So yeah, you should join that, especially if you want to make requests for future streams. And in the future, I'm going to take commissions. Not quite yet, because there's still some things that I want to sort out, and got a lot on my plate at the minute. But someday, very soon, I will be taking commissions again, paid commissions, and I hope that ends up being fun. It's been a while, and the last time I did commissions, they were not paid, they were free. So I'm very excited to start making money as an artist and, growing. Growing as an artist and a person. And I'll update you guys on how my art journey ends up going. Kind of pants does he wear? I've forgotten. Kind of just pants. We'll just do something simple. Anyway, if you guys want to see more of my art, I have a DeviantArt and I also have a Tumblr. Both of these things, I'm not sure if I have them linked to my Twitch just yet. If not, I will link them very soon. But my username of both of those things is Danny Chai. So if you want to check out more of my art, go find me there. I post semi-regularly. I've been trying to post nearly every day on Tumblr, and I post probably weekly on DeviantArt, where I just kind of dump a whole bunch of my art right at once. You can also go to my YouTube channel, like I said, which has all the VODs of previous streams if you missed them or if you want to check out older ones. I'm also trying to occasionally post speed paints, which is something that I have not really done before. Honestly, I was planning on recording this drawing through Krita so that I could upload it as a speed paint, but probably won't be able to do that because I didn't record it. And I don't want to post just 2 recordings of a stream. So that's okay. In the future, very soon, the next time I do a full, digital drawing, I will post that. Right now there's only 1 speed paint up right now. What else? Usually, if you're new, I usually stream with my friend Sun, and we play games together, multiplayer games like Minecraft and Raft, sometimes Roblox if we're feeling just super energetic. But I also do streams like these, just solo art streams, just to kind of chill out and take a brain break, or if one of us is busy, like today. We stream every Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central, I believe. And I have a lot of fun doing these streams. I've been streaming for a little while now. I think about half a year. I would have to double check, but it's been a lot more fun than I thought it would when I first started out. I'm a very socially anxious person, and I don't like talking to people a whole lot. But streaming for me isn't that bad. I thought it was gonna be a lot worse. Hi, Sun, in the chat. I'm almost done streaming. I missed you today. But yeah, streaming for me has been a way to just feel more in control and have a little hobby. It's not something that I'm looking to turn into a job or anything. It's just something fun to look forward to at the end of the week, you know? Yay, I hope you're doing good, son. I will text you after this stream. As soon as I'm done with this drawing, I'll go back and recap all the drawings I did that you missed, son. You're rocking it out. Okay. This one is... Oops, almost forgot the tail. Okay, this one is done. Got a salad and Tears of the Kingdom, as you should. Okay, this drawing is finished. Okay. Now, for all of you who might not have seen them, and some, I'll go back through all of the drawings that I did. I don't have time to shade or color, sadly, but that is okay. So, I did this OC challenge. Can I just say that guy was hot? Thank you, he's my OC. I did this OC challenge by Druz C, and I made 5 drawings of my OC Samael over here. No, not that one. This one, this is how you spell it. Samael. Anyway. So I did the first 3. And where were they? No, there we go. I did these 3 drawings. Thank you. This, do I still have the pose reference? No, I deleted it, I think, but I can pull it up again. Just a second. This is the pose reference that I used for the 3rd drawing. Dr. Hannibal Lecter. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. That's the first 3 drawings. And then I did these 2, and I did this sketch, which I did not end up liking very much at all, so I did not ink it. But I also did my favorite one over here, which I just finished inking. Kind of like the sketch a little bit better, but that's okay. Why does Hannibal look like that? I don't know. I don't know what the image is from. He definitely did not stand like that in the actual show. There's no way that he did. But I know if I end up doing a better drawing of this pose, then I will send it to you, I promise. But I did not use a reference, so it turned out really weird. That's okay. He looks like a giant. He's actually, hold on, just a second. I can tell you how tall he is. This man is 7'2". So he's about right. Let's see. Whoops. He's about right here on the height chart compared to a 6'3" man. Very tall. Perfect proportions. Tall, yes. Alright. I went a couple minutes past the end of stream, but that's okay. This was a lot of fun. I really liked doing this OC challenge. Draw him on a height chart. I will. I'm planning to expand this height chart to include all of my OCs. By the way, I did not make this height chart. Hold on. Let me find the credits for it. One moment. This height chart was created by In the Name of Sweden. And this is where I found it and what it originally looked like. It was this height chart by In the Name of Sweden. That's what I used to make that height comparison chart. Okay. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching this stream. I had so much fun. Your art makes me so hungry. Thank you. Thank you for watching the stream. I had so much fun. Son, you can always watch the VOD on Twitch or YouTube if you wanted to see the whole thing. But yeah, like I said, we stream every Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central. The VODs are posted this following Monday at 4 p.m. Central. So check us out. Check out my YouTube over there and our Discord server over there. And see our next stream next Saturday. Yeah. Bye bye. Love you guys.